represents a playing card. So we're gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna go into here into new folder. We're gonna name it test, and we're gonna right click it. We're gonna open it with Visual Studio Code. So we're gonna type in code space that, and we're gonna create a file name. So we're gonna create this file that is gonna be named just card, okay, card.java. So we have the card class that represents a playing card. We're gonna have the public public class, and we're gonna name it card. We're gonna open curly braces, and this time we're gonna have the face of card that would be the ace, deuce. We're gonna have the suit of card that would be the hearts, the diamonds, and to do that we're gonna have private, and this variable is gonna be of type string and uppercase letter S, and we're gonna name it face, okay, semicolon at the end. We're gonna do the same here, private, type string, and the variable name is gonna be suit, and again uppercase letter S. We ended up with semicolon. Okay, so we are gonna have 3 files this time, and our third file is gonna be our main method. Okay, so now we are gonna go right here, and we are gonna have our public. We're gonna have our public card, and we're gonna open parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we're gonna have the type that is gonna be a stream, and we're gonna have card face, camel notation. We are also gonna have a string, the type string, but it's gonna be card suit, okay, so camel notation as well. We have this public, okay, this card has to be with uppercase letter C, so public card. That is the name of the file card, and here we're gonna have the variables face and suit. Face, and we are gonna set it to the card face with camel notation. Keep that in mind. So we are gonna initialize face of card. Now we're also gonna have the suit, and we're gonna set it to the card suit. Ended up with semicolon at the end. We are initialize the suit of card. Okay, so we have that, and now we're gonna have public, and the type is gonna be a string, and it's gonna be to a string, to a string. We're gonna open parentheses and make sure that this one has to be uppercase letter S, string. Now we're gonna open curly braces, and now we are gonna return. So this time we're gonna return the variable face, and we're gonna concatenate it. We're gonna have space off space, and then we're gonna concatenate it with the variable suit, and this is the end of the method. Okay, so we have that so far. That is the first file, and the second file we are gonna create a deck of cards. So it's gonna be deck of cards that Java. Let me see, deck of cards.java, and they already created for us the class. That's fine. Let me move it like that, and I'm gonna go right here, 1 2 3 here. That's fine. Okay, so we have the public class deck of cards, but first of all we're gonna import something. So we're gonna import java that util that random, okay, like that, semicolon at the end. So we're gonna use a random method. We're gonna go here inside of the public class deck of cards, and we're gonna have in the private we're gonna have this array. Okay, so, and it's gonna be named deck. Okay, So we have array of car objects, so it's gonna be private car deck. Okay, now we're gonna have private, and the variable, the type is gonna be integer, and we're gonna have the current card. Okay, semicolon at the end. This is the index of next card to be dealt. Okay, so private integer current card, that's fine. Now we're gonna have the private static final, so it's gonna be private static final integer, and we're gonna have the number, okay, number of cards, and we're gonna set it to 52, semicolon at the end. So this is gonna be the constants of the number of cards, the random number generator. So we are gonna have a private, lowercase, so it's gonna be private, okay, so private static final, and it's gonna be a random numbers, and we're gonna set it to the new random, okay, and we put semicolon at the end. We have the private static final random, and we have the random numbers, okay. We can, okay, put it like that, and now we're gonna have the constructor. So constructor fields deck of cards, so we're gonna have in public, it's gonna be public, and it's gonna be deck of cards. We're gonna open parentheses, and now we're gonna open curly braces, and here we're gonna have a string, so array, and we're gonna have here the faces, and this array is gonna be, let me see, we are gonna have the A's, okay, then we are gonna have in the do's. We also gonna have a 3, we're gonna have 4 like that, 3, 4, we're gonna have we're gonna have 5, then we're gonna have 6, 7, 7 like that, 8, what else, let me see, we're gonna have 9 and 10. Here we have 9. We are gonna have I put a comma here, yes, 10 comma, and this time it's not gonna be 11, but it's gonna be jack. Then we're gonna have queen. We're also gonna have king, and we ended up this statement as with a semicolon. Let me put it like that. Let me see if I can move it like this, and yeah, that would be better. Okay, so we have this string, we have this array from ace all the way up to the king, and now we are also gonna do the same, but this time it's gonna be this is for the string. This is also gonna be a string, but this time it's gonna be for the suits, okay, suits. And this array is gonna be composed of hearts, and diamonds, okay, diamonds. We're gonna have clubs, and finally we're gonna have the spades. Okay, so we're gonna go here below, and let me see. So we have hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades, and now we're gonna have we're gonna create an array of card objects. So it's gonna be deck, and we're gonna create it with the keyword new. So it's gonna be card. We're gonna open brackets, and we're gonna have a number of cards. Okay, semicolon at the end. And here we are gonna have the current card, and we're gonna set it to 0. Okay, so set the current card. So first card Deitel is a deck of, for example, we have deck, and then we have brackets, and then the number 0. That in this case would be our first element. Okay, now we're gonna populate deck with card of objects. So we're gonna use the for loop. Let me see, for loop, and inside of the parentheses of the for, we're gonna have this integer, and we're gonna name it count. We are gonna set it to 0, semicolon at the end. We have count as long as it's less than the deck that length. Okay, we're gonna increment the count by 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna have in the deck, we're gonna open brackets, and we're gonna pass in the count. Okay, and we are gonna set it to the new, let me see, we are gonna set it to the new card. Okay, and we're gonna open parentheses, and here we're gonna have in the faces, we're gonna pass in inside of the brackets, we're gonna have the count %13, and as a second argument we're gonna have in the suits, open brackets, we're gonna have in count divided 13, and we end up this statement with a semicolon. Let me see, random numbers, let me see, random numbers, that's 5, and also we have the current card, that's a private integer. Okay, that's fine so far. Yeah, that would be the end of the constructor. Okay, deck of cards. We're gonna go right here, let me see. Okay, so now we're gonna have another public class. We're gonna have the shuffle deck of cards with one pass algorithm. So it's gonna be public void, and it's gonna be shuffle. Yeah, that's fine. Open parentheses, and then we're gonna open curly braces. Okay, so pretty much after shuffling, dealing should start at deck, open brackets 0, so at the first element again. So to do that, we're gonna use the current card, and we're gonna set it to 0, or initialize it to 0. And let me see, current card. Okay, so let me see, that's fine. Public class current, let me see if I wrote it right. Okay, right, yeah, that's fine so far. Yeah, that's fine so far. Okay, so we're gonna have a for loop, and inside of the for, we're gonna have this integer first. So the integer first, we're gonna initialize it to 0 as long as first is less than the deck that length. We're gonna increment first by 1. Okay, and we're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna have this integer, and we're gonna name it second. Okay, So we're gonna select a random number between 0 and 51, so second, and we are gonna use random numbers, and the method is gonna be next integer. Okay, so next integer, and we're gonna have in the number of cards, semicolon at the end. And okay, I fixed this one, that's fine. Let me see, current card, that's fine. Okay, so let's continue. Second, yeah, that's fine. Now we're gonna swap the current card with randomly selected card, so we're gonna have in the card temp, and we're gonna set it to the deck, open brackets, and we are gonna have in first, first, semicolon at the end. Then we're gonna have in the deck, we're gonna open brackets, and we're gonna have in first, and we're gonna set it to the deck, open brackets, and we're gonna have second. Okay, semicolon at the end, that's fine. We're gonna have in the deck, and here is gonna be second, and this one is gonna be set to the temporary. Okay, so we're gonna swap the current card with randomly selected card. So we have the card temp, we are setting it to the deck first, then the deck first, we are setting it to the deck second. Okay, so that will be the end of this class here. And let me see, so finally we're gonna deal one card. So our final class is gonna be public card, and then it's gonna be deal card, parentheses, and now we're gonna open curly braces, so determine whether the cards remains to be dealt. So if the current card, okay, is less than the deck length, okay, if the current card is less than the deck length, then we're gonna return the deck, open brackets, and it's gonna be current card incremented. Okay, return the current card and a rate. Else, and let me see, 1 2 3, else we're gonna return null. We're gonna return null. Let me, oh yeah, semicolon at the end. Let me see if that fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it. Okay, so that will be the end of the method deal card, and this will be the end of the class deck of cards. Okay, so far we have 2 files. So finally we're gonna create our main file. Okay, so we're gonna have main, and let me see, we're gonna have deck. Okay, it's gonna be deck of cards test.java, like that. Deck of cards test.java. Okay, and let me see, so we're gonna execute the application, and we need the public static void main, and yeah, it has everything here. So we're gonna have in the deck of cards, and we can make it like that, deck of cards, and we're gonna name it edit it for us, my deck of cards, and we are gonna create a subject. So it's gonna be new deck of cards with parentheses and semicolon at the end. And now we have this variable name my deck of cards, so we're gonna use it, my deck of cards that shuffle, this one, that shuffle, place cards in random order. So we have that so far. And okay, so we are not done yet, so but let's see how it's looking. Yeah, not done yet. So we're gonna go below and we're gonna print all 52 cards and others in the order in which they are there. So we're gonna use the for loop and we're gonna have this integer name I, and we're gonna set it to 1 as long as I is less than or equal to 52. We are gonna increment we're gonna increment I by 1. Okay, so we have curly braces of the for loop, and now we're gonna deal and display the card. So we're gonna have the system that out that println, but in this case it's gonna be print format, and as an argument we are gonna have the percent sign. We're gonna have the number -19 lowercase letter s. As a second argument we're gonna have my deck of cards, and we need to use the parentheses. Let me see, my deck of cards, no, my deck of cards that deal card. Now so we have the second argument is gonna be the variable my deck of cards, and we're gonna use the method that is deal card. Okay, we ended up with a semicolon, and finally we're gonna have the if statement. If I, the variable I, okay, percent sign 4, and it's gonna be equal to 0, output a new line after every fourth card. So 1 2 3, we are gonna have the system that out that println, and let me see, yeah, it's gonna print a new line. So as you can see now we have the 3 files all the way from the card.java, the deck of cards, and finally the deck of cards that is that we have our main method here. So let's see if it works. And as you can see we have the ace of diamonds, deuce of diamonds, 9 of spades. So here we have 10 of spades, king of hearts, 6 of clubs, we have 5 of hearts, 9 of clubs. So let's do it again. As you can see here is different. So we have ace of diamonds, here we have deuce of clubs, here we have 10 of spades, here we have 5 of spades, we have 5 of hearts, here we have 6 of hearts, and let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, as you can see.